One of the biggest games in the ACC takes place on Friday night. We got the Louisville Cardinals traveling to Miami. The Hurricanes will be a 13.5-point favorite. The total sits at 51.5. And a lot of folks are talking about this Miami team, saying they might be the best team in college football. We might find out on Friday night. Louisville comes in with a 4-1 record, but they're 1-4 against the spread. They're coming off a loss to Virginia at home, and Louisville fans tell me we didn't deserve to lose that game. And what they're talking about is they had an edge in total yards, 383 to 237. They had an edge in first downs, 25 to 14, but they turned the ball over twice, and Virginia didn't turn the ball over at all, which is fortunate for me because I actually had Virginia in that game, and I also had Virginia over Florida State. So I've been really tuned in to the ACC so far this season. And as far as Louisville fans claiming that they didn't deserve to lose that game, I got to point out their previous game was against Pitt. And in that game, Pitt outgained them, and Pitt turned the ball over 5 times, and Louisville barely hung on to win that game. So perhaps things even out. They're 4-1, which is exactly where they deserve to be, in my opinion. Miller Moss at quarterback has been somewhat underwhelming. That said, he's had 3 straight games throwing for over 300 yards. If he has himself a clean game, he will have a puncher's chance to keep his team in it and perhaps pull off an upset. I will say this Louisville team, they rank number 1 in the ACC against the pass. They're only allowing 150 yards per game in the air. That will come in handy against Miami. However, they're going to be really up against it on the line of scrimmage because Miami has that dominant defensive and offensive line. So it's going to take probably a similar game to what we saw against Pitt. These games where you lose the turnover battle, you win the turnover battle. Definitely, I think Louisville has to win the turnover battle in this game if they want to have a chance. But before we talk about Miami, I got to tell you about a promotion we have available right now at wagertalk.com. And if you've been around, you've been following us for a while, you'll be familiar with this one, the Wager Talk Weekend Warrior Special. You get all day Saturday college football, all day Sunday NFL, and we'll throw in Monday night football, all for just $49. I've been complaining to the management. I think they're giving it away too cheap, but you can take advantage of it anytime you want and get all weekend football from myself. Having a pretty good season overall. Perfect with college last week. I'm coming off my first losing week with NFL. Nobody's complaining, though, because I'm still hitting over 70% since the beginning of last year's playoffs. But, yeah, no purchase necessary. You're more than welcome to tune in just for the free picks. And also, if you've got anything to say about this game or any other game in college football or even the NFL, hit me up in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Some of you have just such interesting comments. And let's take a look at some of the comments I've got on my previous videos. And this one's a doozy. This one from Richard King David is in response to my critique of a previous comment from him where he said Vanderbilt had a better coach, a better quarterback, and a better team than Alabama. And I was poking fun at Mr. Richard because I thought that was humorous. And he says, buddy, give me a break. You talk about the game Vanderbilt, what that person said, better team, no, better coach, hell yeah, better quarterback by a million miles, way better. By the way, whatever your name is running this channel, don't say you think Alabama would score late. Yeah, maybe late, but when you're supposed to down the ball, people can say Alabama beat the spread, but I'm going to say what was clear as daylight is that Vandy covered the spread and actually won the game. Alabama was about to lose the game. Vandy would have scored and something in goal, down, can't remember. So he goes on. I can't make heads or tails of it, but he's complaining about losing the turnover battle. He's complaining about the small things that happen in every football game that end up making a huge difference to the spread. And he was on the wrong side and he's frustrated. Well, welcome to the club, my man, because that's betting football. That's what it's all about. That's why we love it. And that's why it drives us crazy. And the reason I included this comment is because it ties in quite well with the story of Louisville so far and their games where they've won and lost the turnover battle. But this guy is probably not my biggest fan. Let's take a look at another comment. Darren Gleason 3964 says, Jesse, a beast. Keep playing with him. Been listening to this guy for 2 years. And I appreciate that very much, Mr. Gleason. And Wager Talk endorses that by saying facts. I say thank you for the compliment. And he says, most definitely one of the greats anytime. And the reason I'm sharing this is because he's talking about following me for 2 years. The critics, the guys that say nasty things about me, they're usually commenting on one game or a very short-term sample size. And when I have positive comments from people who have been following me for long-term, for years, I think there's no better endorsement than what this guy is saying right here. And I appreciate it so much. And when you read a guy like that, who I have not a shill, I don't know this guy. When you read something like that, that really makes you want to go grab that Weekend Warrior package for $49 this weekend. Just saying. Let's get into the game. Let's talk about Miami. So the Hurricanes are 5-0, 4-1 against the spread, and but they're just 5th in the ACC because they've only played one ACC game so far. I talked about people rumbling that Miami might be the best team in the country, and I won't comment on what I think of that. What I will comment on, though, is that kind of talk. We call that poison, and if you don't know what I mean, you got to listen to Nick Saban when he's on game day, because here's a Saban quote for you. The rat poison that you usually feed us usually is fatal, but the rat poison you put out this week was very yummy. And what Saban is referring to there is when his team starts smelling itself, when everybody starts praising the team, talking about how good they are, talking about they might be the best in the country. They're unbeatable. Their offensive line is so good. Carson Beck's going to win the Heisman. This is poison. And coming off of a bye week, coming off of a win over Florida State, they're going to get nothing but poison for 2 weeks straight. And now they come into a game. This is one of the last chances they have to slip up. And you look at the big picture and you look at, hey, Miami's the better team. There's no doubt about it. Can Miami beat Louisville by 20 points? They absolutely can. But sometimes in certain situations, things happen. And would they ever happen to this Miami team? Well, I've got a trivia question for you. Do you know which head coach has lost the most games as a double-digit favorite since 2022? Comment below if you think you know. It's not a trick question. It's Mario Cristobal. Cristobal has a reputation for not having his teams prepared in situations like this. Cristobal is an excellent recruiter. The players love him. He always has a fantastic offensive line on his teams. But when it comes to X's and O's and blowing close games or not winning games that he should, he certainly has a checkered history. And why would it be any different this year? I do believe that Louisville has a shot in this game. I believe that if you wait until Thursday night or Friday morning, you will get 14 points. So my official play is going to be on Louisville, but I'm going to say wait till you can get at least 14. Wait for the best line. The later you bet, probably the better line you get, because I think, let's face it, most people think Miami's going to win this game running away. We'll see about that. I've seen it before, and those of you who know Mario Cristobal, you've seen it too. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.